Understanding hashtags and SEO keywords on Instagram is so important for optimizing your posts and reaching your target audience effectively. Let's break down what you need to know about hashtags. Hashtags categorize your content, make it discoverable to a wider audience beyond your followers. When people use the search bar on Instagram and they're searching terms and phrases that they find interesting, hashtags help pull up your content to someone who's never viewed your account before. Make sure you use hashtags that relate directly to your content and your niche. You want to balance between popular and niche specific hashtags in order to maximize your visibility. When you use a broad hashtag like travel, make sure to also include a specific hashtag like the location that you're traveling. Research popular and trending hashtags in your niche by looking at larger accounts and seeing what hashtags they're actively using to know what's working right now. You also want to create branded hashtags that are unique to your brand and your account. If you're a location-based service, you also want to have location-based hashtags so you can target your local audience. Make sure to check out the competition and engagement levels of hashtags before you use them, and that way you can reach a really large audience on Instagram without having to have a large follower count. SEO keywords on Instagram are words or phrases that users commonly search for that are related to your content. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. SEO keywords help an Instagram search engine understand your content and the context of it. It helps improve your chances of appearing in relevant search results. Make sure to include relevant keywords in your bio, your profile name, in your captions, your comments, and your stories in order to enhance discoverability. Make sure to use tools like Instagram Insights and Analytics and keyword research tools online to help identify relevant keywords for your niche. You should also be regularly analyzing which keywords drive the most engagement and adjust your strategy accordingly. Do not overload your posts with too many hashtags or SEO keywords. This can appear spammy to the algorithm. By mastering hashtags and SEO keywords on Instagram, you can significantly boost your visibility. You can attract the right audience and grow your engagement organically. Make sure to experiment with different strategies to find out what works best for you, your brand, and your content. One of the best ways to maximize your visibility on Instagram is to increase your searchability in Instagram's search bar. So, when people want to find something, they want to find information, where do they go on Instagram? Well, first they'll search their feed. So, we want to get in people's feed. Then they'll go to the Explore page. And if they're looking for something specific, they'll go to the search bar and they'll start to type. What they type, the first thing that comes up is people who have that word in their handle. So it is important to be really aware when creating your handle that you're choosing words that resonate with your content or business so that when people are using key search terms, your handle is popping up quickly. Keep it short, keep it easy to remember so people aren't having to type blank blank 1 2 3 5 6 7. They don't want all of that. Keep it short and sweet and avoid using complex characters and symbols in your handle. Also, if your location is relevant to your business, make sure to include that in your bio, in your handle, whatever it's possible, because people might search whatever the keyword is and then search for your area. And if you're location specific, that's really important. Be careful about using words that Instagram is blocking as kind of spammy. Be careful about words if you're in digital marketing specifically, like freedom, passive, wealth, free, faceless, MRR, and money. These kind of things get flagged by Instagram as spam because there are a lot of spam accounts that are creating fake accounts to get people to spend money with them or to do something that is spammy. And these are words that tend to be used quite often. There are so many users and content creators that are all trying to get the same attention out there and standing out. It's required that you think about things like SEO and keywords and hashtags. Your handle is essentially your identity. It explains to people who you are and what you're doing. It is a search term, it is searchable, so create a unique handle that goes with your niche and is the foundation for your Instagram journey. Captions for your content are not just about providing context to what's going on. They're an opportunity for you to use keywords and hashtags to increase your discoverability on Instagram. Instagram doesn't know what you're posting about if you don't tell them. So, when it comes to your captions and when it comes to getting your posts out there, you're going to want to include keywords and hashtags as many places as physically possible. You want to create captions that are engaging and keyword rich. This is not only an opportunity to enhance your user's experience and the viewer's experience, but it also tells the algorithm what is the content of your post. What is it about? Who should they show it to? Instagram knows what people are interested in. It spends all of its algorithm time finding out people's specific interests. So if you tell them, I just created this post and it's for this type of person, they're going to know who to send it to. But if you don't explain to them using keywords, using SEO, using hashtags, they don't know who to send it to, which means that they're going to send it to a couple of your followers. If your followers don't engage, well, that's about as far as the reel or the piece of content is going to go. So we want to include relevant keywords in our captions. I recommend adding at least 10 keywords, even just in a little mini paragraph at the bottom, but also include keywords throughout the caption. So what is a keyword? A keyword is a search term. Think about, I'm going to post about my dog. I'm going to post something funny, and it's going to be about a dog jumping through a hoop and doing a trick. So what kind of keywords am I going to post? I'm going to post things like dog. What type of dog? It's a Labrador. Dog, Labrador, trick, funny, comedy, make you laugh. What are things that people are going to search who would enjoy seeing that type of content? There's some really great AI out there nowadays where you can put in, this is what my content is, and it will give you keywords that you can add to your caption. Make sure you use popular and niche specific hashtags. So when you're adding hashtags, you can see how many times that hashtag has been used. If it's been used millions and millions of times, yes, you have a lot of competition, but it also means it's being searched a lot. So go ahead and use that. And then also use things that are way more narrow to your niche, more like 50,000 uses, 25,000 uses. You can see when you add in the hashtag, maybe I'm going to put Labrador loves tricks and see what kind of hashtag usage it has. I might just put dogs of Instagram and it's going to have a big wide variety of uses, but it would be good to include in my hashtags because people are probably searching dogs of Instagram quite often. You also want to think about creating a branded hashtag that you use every single time you post that's specific to your content and your business. When you're monitoring trending hashtags in your niche, you want to look at what's popular now. You can start looking up things that make sense for your niche and see what kind of hashtags people are using when they're posting that kind of content. Also, look for branded hashtags in your community. So go look at big creators who are creating content like yours and see what kind of hashtags they're using that you might not have thought about including in your content before. Let's have some fun. We're going to play a little hide and seek with the algorithm. There are so many places that you can put keywords and have it help boost your content. You can't get very far on Instagram without keywords, and there are people who won't post super long captions, but you will almost always see at least a couple hashtags and at least a couple keywords included in their caption because it tells the algorithm who you are and who you're posting for. So after you create your amazing piece of content, let's say it's a reel, we're going to sprinkle in some keywords in different places, and these are going to tell the algorithm who your ideal audience is when they go to type in the search bar looking for content and you want yours to show up. We're going to list out 10 to 30 relevant words, and we're going to create a list of what keywords make sense for that specific piece of content. I'm going to be talking about posting a trending audio post where I'm telling people about a specific trending audio that I think that they should use. So I'm going to use keywords like trending, audio, viral, Instagram growth, Instagram hack, Instagram tips and tricks, etc., things that people will look up that I want my content to pop up. Then when I have 10 to 30 relevant words, I'm going to shrink them down as small as possible. I'm going to add them to my reel and drag them off to the side. Now this has mixed reviews, responses of whether it works or not. The reality is that it doesn't hurt to try. It's not going to hurt your growth. It's not going to hurt anything, but if it helps, hey, that's just another place for the algorithm to find keywords, right? You also want to make sure keywords are in your handle. We're going to have them in our bio for sure because your bio needs to be very keyword heavy. We're going to have them in the cover photos that we use so people can see quickly what our content is about. We're going to have them in our captions, and we're going to have them on the screen in our content, in our reels. The algorithm's going to push these keywords out once they've picked them up and get our reel out to our ideal audience. When you showcase your reels to the right audience, then that's how it keeps growing, right? Because they're more likely to share, they're more likely to engage, they're more likely to do the things that Instagram wants because they actually want to see your content. If you use keywords that don't make sense for your content, Instagram's going to push it out to those people and they're going to say, I didn't want to see this. I wasn't looking this up. And it will actually hurt your engagement. So make sure that the keywords you're using make sense for the type of content that you are creating because Instagram is going to use those keywords to match it with users who are searching and it's going to put it on the Explore page. And people are more likely to click on your reel, to click on your content on the Explore page if it makes sense for the key term that they were searching.
If you're having trouble coming up with keywords that might be relevant for your content and for your niche, I love to use ChatGPT and AI for idea recommendations and content recommendations, but it's also really great for hashtag and keyword recommendations. So I'm going to put in, hello, I'm a blank, fill in your niche, but let's just say a digital marketer on Instagram. I'm creating a reel about growing your account and making money online. Please tell me 20 SEO friendly keywords I can use in my caption. Then we'll give ChatGPT a chance to go ahead, and here we go. So it put them as hashtags, but what I'm going to do is I would take these, take away the hashtag, and make a paragraph out of these as keywords. Monetize your passion, social media influencer, work from anywhere. These are great keywords. I would take this list, include it in my caption, make it small, include it in my reel, and make sure I'm using these in my reel, in the hook text, in the title, in all of the different areas that you can use keywords for optimum growth.
One lesser known aspect of Instagram's SEO, search engine optimization, is the importance of alt text for images and carousels. Alt text, alternative text, is a description of an image that is read by screen readers to assist visually impaired users in understanding the content of the image. While Instagram is primarily a visual platform, adding alt text to your images and carousels can actually improve their discoverability. This is because search engines like Google index alt text, which means they can use it to understand the content of your post better. By adding relevant keywords to your alt text, you can potentially improve the visibility of your posts. So how do we do this? How do we add alt text? What you're going to do is you're going to add a photo or add a carousel, hit next, and when you're in the screen to write your caption, scroll all the way down to the bottom, go to Advanced Settings, scroll down again, and here it says Accessibility Write Alt Text. Click on here, and this is where you're going to describe your photo or your carousel, and make sure to use keywords here. By consistently adding alt text to your Instagram posts, you can enhance their accessibility for visually impaired users, which is amazing, but you can also improve their visibility in search results. This will help boost your overall SEO on Instagram. Another place Instagram goes to look for keywords to know who to show your content to is your description. You don't want this on your main page in your bio because it is a link, and if people click it, they'll be taken away from your page, and Instagram's not a huge fan of that. But you do want to have it turned on, just hidden. That way, Instagram knows who to show your content to, what type of creator you are, but it's not in your bio for someone to accidentally click and be directed away from your account. What you're going to do is go to Edit Profile, then Description, and here in the description, you want to choose what best describes you. You can search categories and click on one that best describes you. Then when it says display on profile, we want to make sure that this is gray, that it's turned off. So Instagram knows the description we've chosen for SEO reasons, but it's not on our actual bio for people to click away from our profile. When you're looking to hide keywords in your reel, you want them to be a couple places. Not hidden, it's just including them in the text on the screen, in your hook. So I said I gained 25,000 followers in 4 months. If I were to do it over again, here's what I would do. This is great, but it doesn't necessarily tell the algorithm who I want my content to go out to. So I'm gonna make sure that my caption has a lot of keywords and hashtags, but I'm also gonna hide some hashtags here in the reel. Now, this is something that's heavily debated of whether it helps or not, but it only takes a few seconds. I just keep my keywords in my notes app and it doesn't hurt. It's not hurting. And I can tell you that every million+ view reel that I've had has had hidden keywords. And every time that I don't hide keywords, my reels don't get as many views. So it helps, it doesn't help, it's unknown. There's no proven fact if it helps, but it definitely doesn't hurt. So you want to click on the big A and the small A in the upper corner. You're going to just copy your keywords that you have maybe in your notes app. You're going to hit paste. There they are. I'm going to shrink them down and I'm going to long hold and just slide them up to the top where they can't be seen, and that is it. Now I have extra keywords on my post. You can hit next, move on, and it takes maybe 5 seconds in total to do, and it might not help, but it definitely won't hurt.
Other places that you can put keywords are in your stories and in your comments. In your stories, we're going to do the exact same thing that we do in our reels. We're going to put it in the text that we include on the screen. We can kind of hide the keywords underneath photos. You want keywords in your stories so that Instagram, again, knows who to send those stories to. Another thing I like to do is put them in the comments. So about an hour after you've posted a piece of content like a reel or a carousel, go back to the content and in the comment section, introduce another set of keywords. So about 10 keywords that are different than the ones that you used in the caption for your piece of content, but make sure that they're still relevant, and this will keep the algorithm posting out your content for more people to see, because those new keywords will trigger the algorithm to say, hey, people in the comments think that this reel is about blank, whatever the keywords are, and it will keep the content relevant for longer and be able to reach an even wider audience.
Another valuable place to look for keywords and to place them yourself is actually in the comments and your responses. When you're looking at comments that your followers have left you, pay attention to the language and the keywords that they use when they comment on your posts. For example, they may say, I love blank about your niche. And that blank could be a keyword. So they could say, I love something specific. And that keyword could be used in another piece of content because you know it's a keyword that that follower is thinking about. Using comments for keywords is great, but you can also use your response. Make sure you include keywords when you're responding. Repeat the same words back and help your followers know that you see them. This is so great for SEO and can also provide you valuable feedback and insights to keyword suggestions that you can incorporate into your content strategy moving forward. By listening to your audience and what keywords and trends they're talking about in their comments and responding with keywords in your own, you're going to make your content so much more visible on Instagram. Hashtag creation does not need to be a time-consuming part of your content creation process.
When it comes to hashtags, use similar hashtags in your content. If you're using the same hashtags over and over and over, Instagram starts to understand that that is what your account is about. It's going to show your account to more people in that niche when it sees, wow, this creator creates a lot of content having to do with this specific hashtag. Now, when you come up with your hashtag grouping, copy it, then go to your phone, go to settings, go to general, then go to keyboard, and then text replacement. You're going to add a new text replacement by hitting the cross in the upper right hand corner. We're going to add our phrase, which is all of our hashtags. We're going to paste them right in. And then I'm going to say hashtag 1, because this is my first grouping of hashtags. I can do this multiple times. Hashtag 2, hashtag 3. Now when I go back, I'm in Instagram, I'm writing my caption, and I want to include my hashtags that are specific to this type of content I'm creating. All I have to do is type hashtag 1, and my phone will automatically auto-populate that whole paragraph of hashtags. I don't have to do it. I don't have to retype them. I don't have to go out of the app, copy, paste, none of that. I just type hashtag 1. You can do this as well on your phone. Type hashtag 1 or whatever you want to name your shortcut. Type it in the caption and it will just appear on Instagram, and it makes the process so much faster. It's amazing. One of the best ways to see what hashtags are currently relevant and doing well in your niche is to look at what large accounts that are having a lot of viral videos that are very successful are currently doing and using hashtag wise. So you can look at the large accounts themselves, or you can go to search. Go ahead and put in a search term that has to do with your niche. I'm going to put Instagram growth. I'm going to hit search, and then it will show you Instagram growth hashtags that have been used. So I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these reels. I'm going to click on the caption and see what hashtags they're using. So this reel has a lot of engagement, a lot of likes, a lot of saves, a lot of comments. So these would be really great hashtags to try out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my computer, because on your computer you can copy directly from captions. I'm going to go on my computer, look up this reel. I'm going to go ahead and copy these hashtags, and I'm going to create a hashtag bank. Basically, a big long list of hashtags that I want to try out, and I can narrow it down from there. But starting with looking at what large accounts are using currently is a great way to figure out what hashtags you might want to use in your own content.
Instagram is always watching to see if you're being naughty or nice. Now, there are banned hashtags and there are trigger words, and you might think, well, I would never use those. I mean, most of them are inappropriate or make sense that they would be banned, right? But Instagram has a naughty list of hashtags that you might not even think about. Like, one of the examples is make money online. This can really get you in trouble. If you're using a banned hashtag and your content only gets shown to your current followers, Instagram could flag your account as a spam account, and it can flag you for going against community guidelines, even if you had no idea that that's what you were doing. And it'll limit your reach, right? Once they realize that you're using a banned hashtag, they're not going to send it out to any other people because they don't want that kind of content getting out of there. So, in order to avoid this, you can go to a website called Meta Hashtags. Meta Hashtags, to check if your hashtags are banned. It is a great way to know if you're being safe on Instagram. So simply copy and paste your hashtags that you want to check. You can just paste the whole paragraph of them. Some hashtags are banned forever and some just for a certain period of time. So it's always really important to check your hashtags before you include them in your content. Instagram has a 30 hashtag rule, meaning that they will only allow up to 30 hashtags in a single post in the caption. You can use all 30, you can use less, you can use a couple, you can use none. Let's talk about the pros and cons of how many hashtags to use. Start with using all 30. Using all 30 hashtags not only provides a really broad spectrum of categorization for your content, but it maximizes the chance of your post being discovered by a viewer who is actively searching for or following the specific hashtag you use. The more hashtags you use, the more likely you are to be discovered. The 30 hashtag allowance makes it so your content can be categorized across a wide range of topics and can appeal to a diverse audience. The problem with this can be if you're looking for a very specific ideal follower and you end up getting too broad and too diverse. So, how do you kind of balance this out? My recommendation is when you're starting, use more hashtags. And as you are kind of narrowing in on your ideal follower and your ideal niche, start taking out hashtags that are not being as productive. You can ask your followers, how did you find my account? What hashtag did you search for? People are happy to share that kind of information. And so if they say, I stumbled upon your account because of blank hashtag, make sure you keep using that hashtag, but maybe remove a couple of the others along the way and see what you can kind of filter out that may not be necessary. Maybe you're an account that talks about real estate and you have a hashtag that talks about selling houses, but you're helping people buy houses. It may not be relevant to your ideal follower. So let's start with more, take them out as we go, and we'll ideally work down to about 3 to 10 hashtags, but this comes with the growth of your account. Using hashtags that are highly relevant to your content niche is so important for attracting the right audience. While it might be tempting to use a broad or popular hashtag to reach a larger audience, doing so can often result in your content just getting lost in a sea of posts that all use a similar hashtag. When you use a super broad hashtag that's been used millions upon millions of times, what is necessarily going to make your content stand out? That's the question you need to ask yourself. So instead of using something super broad, you want to focus on niche-specific hashtags that accurately represent and describe your content so that it appeals to your specific target audience. This way, you're more likely to connect with viewers who are actually interested in the content that you're producing and are more likely to engage with it. Engagement matters more than views. Views are important, yes, but in order to get more views, people have to engage with your content. So if you use a super broad hashtag and people who click on your content aren't actively engaging with it, Instagram's not going to push your content out to more viewers. This is one of the reasons why it's super important and essential to use niche-specific hashtags, and it's important to diversify your hashtag strategy as well. Instagram allows you to use up to 30 hashtags per post, right? So take advantage of this by including a mix of popular, moderately popular, by popular I mean million plus uses, moderately popular, the high 100,000s, and niche specific, you're looking for 10 to 100,000 maximum uses, right, for your hashtags. By diversifying your hashtag selection, you increase the chances of your content actually being discovered by someone who is your target audience and just doesn't even know it yet, but they find you on the Explore page and it brings them to your account.